Okay, so let's say a tall building, maybe behind there's a shorter building. Now, different level will definitely feel different one. Okay, definitely feel different. The higher you go, the more 清高 in Chinese call 清高 that the kind of energy that you're going to possess, right? So the lower one will feel more grounded. Will feel more grounded. It's definitely, I mean, most of the time is this kind of energy dynamic. So there's a difference. Okay, so therefore you can find that in most high-rise building, they created this sky garden. It means somewhere in between there's this sky garden, so that it can become a little community, gathering in the intermediate floor. So sometimes it happens this way. I think, for example, Pinnacle, there's a sky garden. I'm not sure about the rest, but I'm sure all the high rise, they have plans for sky gardens. So Philip said, penthouse definitely lonely, private life most of the time. Yeah, okay. Unless you buy those five-story one, and then the last 2 story is penthouse, then that one is still okay. But sky rise one, unfortunately, no one. The higher you go, the more aloof type of energy that you're going to possess. And then Philip say private lift. Okay, sometimes private lift goes into the house, right? Into the house, so you can take private lift, assess the private lift in terms of qi feng shui, and then in terms of feng feng shui. For example, where is it being landed? Is it in the front? Is it at the back? At the left side, dragon side, or the tiger side? So if at the back support side, that means it's at the qian side, moving up and down. Okay, so that's not that good if the leaf is opening at the back. Helen say, Master, is it true that those who currently stay high floor best to avoid to move to low floor? Not so lah. Depending on your own inner world energy if you enjoy those those what do you call that, high vibes energy, then continue staying up there lor. Okay, so let's get started with the remaining lesson for today. So I've covered what do you call that, the universal connection system as a tools that you can use to assess the external environment. Okay, so now what's next is there are 2 more tools that you can use. One is symbolism, the other one is the time-space connection system, so which we are going to cover now. Philip says, so private lift on Tiger side or Bright Hall is better. Tiger side will be better. Okay, so let's move on. So we basically what we want to do, in addition to the universal connection system, whether the dragon good or tiger good, the next one we want to do is to discover the good and bad frequency. So the essence of frequency tuning is to support the various sectors. Now we are zooming in using the Luopan and the sectors already. I mean, this portion here, we need to know the direction. We need to know the 8 sectors, the north, south, east, west. So the essence of this tuning here is to support the various sector so that they can in turn support the occupants. And items carrying energies that are supportive of the sectors are considered good feng shui good feng shui. And the contrary, item carrying energies that are exhausting or destroying the energy of the sector are considered bad feng shui frequency. So let's say the southwest sector, which the diagram is Kun Kwa, is being impacted. That means now we are talking about the north-south, southwest sector being impacted. Now, in module 4, when we learn about the profiling system, Kun Kwa can represent mother, customers, HR, the year, the month, so on and so forth. Stomach, body parts, all sorts of things. So therefore, if let's say southwest is affected, it may affect any or a combination of all these things, all the profiling things. May affect one or more, or in combination of all these things, all these profiling things. So basically, you will just want to know lah. And then based on my experience, my practice so far, I've seen that certain kind of person with certain kind of inner world setup, you find that certain sectors will have a different unique way of showing up. Okay, so we'll move on now, and then I will try to bring in examples. So for example, first thing first is to go around, look for the surrounding, what are there in the first place. That means we are not done with the external environment. After using the universal connection system, now we want to use symbolism and the time-space connection system to look at it. Okay, so for example, we talk about body of water. Body of water. What effect does a nearby body of water have on the office, business, or whatsoever? So let's take a look at this one. This very iconic building in Singapore. And you all know what this building, right? This is a casino, okay, or not called casino, called the integrated resort. Integrated resort. How's the business doing for this MBS here? How's the business doing? No good, casino leh, integrated resort leh. Business so jialat meh? Can't be, right? But it is so. Okay, we can't run away from the fact that MBS is not doing very good. Okay, so Helen say figure 8 leg. What do you mean by figure 8 leg? Okay, now with split building, split building. Okay, okay, split building, okay, good. Now there's one thing that in terms of business, right? In terms of business, what is one thing that every business sure must have one, sure must need for business? Bloodline, customer. Now, what will make a customer go to your business instead of elsewhere? What will make the customer choose to go to your business instead of elsewhere? Qi flow, okay. Now we are talking about energy, so we say qi flow, but talk about layman. Okay, talk about layman. In order for customer to go and choose MBS as an ideal place to go gambling, MBS must be attractive enough. Am I correct to say that? Whatever business, it must be attractive enough for the customer to want to go there to give money. Okay, so therefore the attractiveness factor for MBS become very, very important. The attractiveness factor for MBS becomes very, very important, because if customer don't find attractive enough, they won't go, or they only go one time, something like this, right? So how many of you have been to one place of attraction, go only one time, and that's it? You say you have enough already? Have you? I'm sure there is. In Singapore, also plentiful of attraction that have this kind of characteristics. Go one time and you tell yourself it's enough. Okay, so MBS, the pool of water is right smack at the south sector of MBS. So south is fire. Okay, fire, and water is right smack at the south sector, and it's not a small body of water, it's a very big body of water. So therefore, south being attractiveness, the attractiveness factor of MBS will be affected in some ways. In this case, in big ways. Yeah, in big ways. So Philip said they must believe they can win, either that or it is the status appeal. Yeah, so it's an attractiveness thing lah. I mean, going there, like for example, Toto outlet, is that why they go to that Toto outlet, is the attractiveness that hey, can win. Okay, right? Okay, so let's take a look. This could be a outliner incident, but let's take a look at other cases. Sentosa Cove. Okay, Sentosa Cove. Right, Sentosa Cove, I think is somewhere here, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so you look at it, Sentosa Cove is making at a loss. or lose 42% of value after sales. Why? If you look at the south, okay, here is north, here is south. Again, big pool of big body of water at the south. So that means buy, yes, buy high price. But when you try to sell, low attractiveness factor. Therefore, you probably, if let's say you're in need of money, you probably will sell at a loss. No choice. Okay. So another thing about MBS, right? MBS, let me see where is it. MBS is here. MBS is here. So therefore, if I put a Taiji point here, north is here, south is here, and then here is southeast. Okay, here is east, northeast. Okay, so south is water, right? South is water. So the attractiveness gone. And then the northeast, meaning the sales means the money coming in part, is the garden by the bay. Now, garden by the bay, what iconic structure is at the garden by the bay? Which is at the southeast of the MBS. Is this one, this tree, little tree, and then like that. Okay, very round, structured ring kind of tree with lights. At night, it will be lighted up. Now, this is 乾卦. Okay, very round thing with fire, 离卦. Okay, metal and fire at the southeast. So therefore, you find that the moment this garden by the way opens up for business, MBS really go down because the two main important factor for a business, which is the attractiveness and the sales, is in bad shape. Okay, it's in bad shape. Now look at this, another example. Singapore Flyer. I'm sure Singapore Flyer, I think for me, my experience is I go one time enough already. I probably won't go a second time. Nothing to shout about. Why? If you look at Singapore Flyer is somewhere here. Again, north, south. The south is a body of water. Okay, a body of water. And then it is being covered by, okay, can you tell me for this Singapore Flyer, where's the virtual boundary? I see if I can expand or not. Okay, tell me where's the virtual boundary. Type in the chat box. Singapore Flyer is right here in the center here. Darren said now on 3 months of maintenance again. Okay, Singapore Flyer, huh? All right. Okay, where's the virtual boundary? Helen said flyover and the sea. Yes, the way the flyover and the sea works, wow, let me go back to the normal so that I can write. Okay. Here, okay, here, and then here. So basically, this is what we call 绝气之地. That means no qi coming in. When no qi coming in means no money coming in. So if you want to let this business run, you got to inject in money. I don't know from where, or maybe through sales, or selling the whole company, or government interjection. So there you go. Not only you being cut off, okay. I think cut off is the main thing. You get cut off, there's no money coming in. That's it. So your environment, water plays a very big part, especially big body of water. So look around in Singapore, how many big bodies of water around? Reservoir, Bedok Reservoir. Where else? Jurong Lake. Okay, Jurong Lake. Where else? Macritchie. But Macritchie, luckily, surrounding are all mountains. Yes, Helen, that's right. That's like the earlier Junction 10 case. Yes, exactly. Seletar. Okay, Seletar. Seletar are all the private houses. Okay. So next thing, most common thing that we tend to see when we walk around, constructions, road works, street works, okay, all these things, public works, upgrading works, all these are going to disturb the earth energy of the building in the vicinity of the works. So when the energy is disturbed, it tends to disturb the magnetic field reading also. Okay, let me show you how powerful is the impact, okay, the impact, the rough of a massive construction work. GEMS, many years back, GEMS, they opened for business while, okay, its surrounding 360 were under massive construction, like the hospital, like I think the what blue big box or I don't know what box. Okay, I think let me see. Yeah, so this is GEMS and surrounding all the construction where they open for business. Can you recall how many incidents they have since then? Okay, so same thing. Whenever, whatever place that you are in, be it office, be it home, whatever, if there are construction work, especially very massive like MRT tunneling, constructions, during that period, you're going to enjoy, okay, enjoy the effect. Flood, yes, flood, okay, ceiling flood, so many things. Marine Parade currently building MRT, yes, the north-south line, north-south expressway, okay, so all these things can have major impact, okay, major impact on the surrounding buildings. Okay, so GEMS is one example already. I'm just showing you examples, case studies, so that you know that whatever we are seeing, whatever we are saying and learning can be substantiated and verifiable by actual cases. Okay. So can you recall in 2016, I think PM announced and launched the SGH Campus Master Plan, right? SGH Master Plan. SGH, if in case you don't know where, is around New Beach Road, and that's where MOH is also there operating their ministry work, ministry operation. So SGH, the area there is where MOH is operating also. Okay. So you know what happened to SGH now, right? And the surrounding. Philip said, Master, Singapore next big ticket item to launch with the Marina Bay Life Work Play area, followed by Great Southern Waterfront from Tanjong Pagar all the way to Pasir Panjang, followed by Jurong Lake District. This will take 2 decades. Does this mean future of Singapore economy will be tough? Yes, tough. Yes, tough. Okay, but not as tough as building MRT. Not as tough as building MRT. At least this is restricted to the southern zone. Okay, restricted to the southern zone. So therefore, it's only that stretch and in the vicinity will be impacted. MRT, for example, the downtown line, the circle line, whatever, it touches all the nooks of Singapore, underground some more. So it's going to shake the earth energy a lot, right? So the earlier we finish with the MRT construction, the better. But the southern zone one will have impact also, is because by doing that, they have to close down the container terminal at the Tanjong Pagar, and then they have to shift out. Okay, so that Tanjong Pagar container is one very big tea catchment area. One very big tea catchment area, and now they're going to tear it down and move. So can you imagine what will happen in terms of the, tea energy translate to real economy impact? I leave it to you to go and imagine. Philip say by the time I also finish there. Okay. But no choice lah. I think this is for our future generation. So the future generation ancestor, I mean the predecessor, which is us, have to suffer for their sake. Okay, back to this SGH and MOH thing. So we know since 2016, SGH and that area have been digging and digging and digging and digging and digging and digging. I mean, massive, very, very massive construction. And there is a ministry working in the midst of all these 360 messiness. Now, if Jam is that messy and can run into so much trouble, can you imagine MOH? Can you imagine MOH operating in the midst of all this massive construction? And what do you think can happen to this ministry? Darren says, so interestingly, the leveraging the fire energy of the 20 years. Yep. Very good, Darren. Oh, it's going to rain. Okay, so I give you a timeline. Okay, I give you a timeline. If you are working in MOH, I'm sure you remember. Okay, I'm sure you remember all these events and incidents that directly impacted MOH, the TAO, that means the minister and all the people working in MOH. So for example, 2018, we have the health system hit by most serious breach of personal data in cyber attack. Even PM's data is being targeted. So this is a very big hoo-ha. This in 2018. So again, it is MOH problem. MOH 代志. Then same year, you have the bug behind the recent food poisoning case. Okay, so again, MOH got to step in, got to answer like anything else. So Philip say we talk about MOH and their standard, what a symbolism. Exactly. Okay, exactly. So then the next year, 2019, okay, we have this one. Again, data of 14,000 people and HIV leak online. Wow, again, big issue. Big issue. MOH problem again. Okay, and then 2020, wow, this one is the biggest event. 2020 to present is the COVID law. Again, MOH. Right, so 2016 start. Now, as 2016 start, the impact is not felt straight away because maybe it's minor digging here, minor digging there. But after 1-2 years, wow, it's so massive that it's all over the place in the SGH area. Therefore, the energy starts to kick in already. The energy starts to kick in, and you see like that. Okay, I don't know how long more. I think PM says a decade long kind of project. So maybe up to 2026. Finishing soon. Okay, so Helen said MOH very boring with all this event happening. Yes. So if you don't want that kind of limelight, that kind of stress, so this is not the time to join MOH. Okay, this is not, if you are in the healthcare industry, this is not the time to join MOH or the affiliation to MOH. Okay, so this is construction work and the effect. So you can also see, which I've seen many times, is that anyone with very, let's say, very lousy, not so ideal inner world, wherever they go, they tend to see construction. Be it office, be it home, be it whatever, they tend to see construction nearby. Okay, nearby. So next, let's talk about bus stop. Okay, bus stop. Now, bus stop, how do we see bus stop? How should we see bus stop? Type in the chat box. How should we see bus stop? A good factor, a good feature to have, or very noisy, I don't like bus stop, a lot of people, no privacy. How do you see, or how should we see bus stop? Philip say good if it's busy and clean. Very good. Customer centric, Helen say very good. I would say bus stop is a qi holding up area. Okay, qi holding area. Why? People want to take bus, go there. People come already, alight the bus, also alight at the bus stop. So bus stop is a qi holding area. So if this bus stop is near your unit, wow, fantastic. Okay, fantastic. Remember just now I talked about the house ABC. If you have a choice, you can build bus stop, you can build MRT access. Wow, that would be the best. Okay, that would be the best. And then you just, if your door is opening in that direction, you just cast the net to go and pull in the qi, meaning money. 搞定. So Philip said, but sometimes the advertisement create problem with the bad messages. Thank you very much, Philip. You make that point. I wanted to say that. Okay. Yes. So the advertisement play a big part also. Play a big part. Sometimes it display very positively charged advertisement like New Moon, My Choice, Bird Nest, wow, all the premium stuff, like you're enjoying life, which is good. But if let's say you the advertisement is a very negatively charged kind of energy, say low crime doesn't mean no crime, whatever you display is going to, it's going to invite this kind of energy to show up in your life. So therefore, let's hope that the negatively charged advertisement can be switched out very fast. And then those positively charged advertisement can stay there as long as they want. Okay, so yes, please read the advertisement as well. Thank you, Philip. You bring up a very good point. So in that sense, we want to be as near all this kind of qi holding area as near as possible. So for example, there's a traffic light here. There's a traffic light here. Okay, there's a bus stop here. There's a bus stop here. I think further down on the right side, there's a overhead bridge. Like I said, that overhead bridge seldom got people use. Most people will use this zebra crossing. So in this sense, thank you, Helen. You know the place, eh? In this sense, given the A, B, C, D, E, F, okay, and then maybe G, which one do you think, if you can rent that place to do your business, which one would you want to rent? A, B, C, D, E, F. Helen say A and D. Wow. Helen, you know the place well. So you say A and D. Okay. Why? Why? Helen, tell me why. Why A and D? Oh, forget to tell you, by the side road there, beside A, there's this row of car park, roadside parking. So Helen said that explain why Songfa outlet there better business than other outlet. Helen, now you know why. Isn't it easy to see now? So therefore, whether it's your house, whether it is an office, whether it is your own business shop front, you know where to pick, co-create with your outer world, and then in alignment with your inner world, things will move very easily and faster. Is that okay? Can? All right, so this is what we want to see in the outer world, in the external environment. Read all these things. Okay, read all these things. Right, so with this, let's move on. Look at the floor plan. Okay, look at the floor plan, footprint. Okay, so this is where floor plan comes in. Alan is asking, how about B, B, okay, B actually can do good also. But for whatever reason, based on what I know about this B, they seldom open business one. I also don't know why. Maybe this is not their core business. But for those who know how to leverage one, B should be a equally good spot. Okay, equally good spot. You get my point? So you must know how to leverage. Did it say hidden business? Perhaps. Who knows? Perhaps. I've not really go and study the area there, so I can't really tell. But I know that G, G, this far end here, G, this business is really, really very, very, very bad. I think it's one of the hostel or I can't remember, or camera rental kind of business. I can't remember, but it's really, really very bad. Okay, why? Because right in front, let me pull out white screen first. Imagine this is the A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Then this is the road. This is the road. Okay, then the traffic light is somewhere here. Traffic light somewhere here. I think bus stop is somewhere here. And then I think G, there's an overhead bridge. Overhead bridge. So the overhead bridge is directly in front of G. Directly. So that means if you step out of G, what you see is the wall of the overhead bridge, the structural wall of overhead bridge. Okay, so big elephant. Okay, good. All right. So therefore, G cannot survive one. Okay, cannot survive because in front, which is a prospect, which is the opportunity being blocked by the overhead bridge. Even though we say overhead bridge can bring T over, right? But in this case, it's going to only benefit the A, B, C, D, E, F, and not G. Something like this. So this is just an approximate thing because I didn't really go down and take measurement. So Philip say, how about C? Currently, owner seeking interest for sales, but heard response is not so good. Okay, C is what? Let me see. C is, where's the shop? A, B, C, C. This one is a cafe. Not so good. Okay, not so good because ultimately, okay, this is running away. Okay, but luckily the bus stop is here. Okay, luckily bus stop is here. But who benefit the most from the bus stop? Blocked by the greenery, not so because A also blocked by greenery. Okay, D sapu all. Okay, very good. I think there is one chicken rice store right behind the bus stop, if I'm not wrong. E is a chicken rice store right behind the coffee shop. Helen said Tiong Bahru chicken rice. I think so. The business not that bad. Why? Because right in front is bus stop. And from the bus stop to get to that shop, there is a steps lah. That means people got to go down. So it's like it's something like this. Let me show you side view. If you know what I mean. Let's say this is the shop D, and then this is the pavement, and then there is a step down to the pavement, and this is where the bus stop is. Okay, so people drop already. It's like a slope. It's like a slope. Remember just now we discussed about the slope that is coming in, flowing down. Okay, and this is not a very steep slope. So therefore, D is able to enjoy the qi coming from the bus stop, and then spill over. Some will spill over to the songfa. Okay, some will spill over to the songfa, and then hopefully some will spill over to the C. So the C can only enjoy spillover from the bus stop and from the people crossing. Okay, from people crossing. All right. So I hope that answer your question, Philip, about C. Would that be okay? Okay. So if let's say you're going to get a shop front, you know what to get. Okay, let's assess the footprint of the floor plan. So basically, same thing. You get the floor plan, and then you know the degree already. You just map the Tai Chi ruler, just like what you did for the street map, and there you go. Then you see where is the toilet, where is the management rooms. For example, the CEO room, the CFO room, or the CC, or the C-suite room, and then where's the operation department, where is the sales department, so on and so forth. Okay, and then where is the boardroom? Because boardroom is also important. It's where major decisions are made. So if the energy of the boardroom is lousy, then they may make lousy decision. So it's also equally important. So this is what you must read also. And then where's the main door? So on and so forth. So this is what we read. So talk about door opening. Since that we have learned Qi and learn how Qi behave is exactly like human being. So let me test you this. If let's say you're outside, you want to get into the room, okay? Getting into the room A is easier, or getting into room B is easier? Type in the chat box. Which one is easier? If you're standing outside, want to get into the room, getting to A easier or getting to B easier? Helen say B. Why? Helen say B. Why? Fiona say B. Why? Okay. Alan say push in easier. Philip say more soon. Okay, more soon. Yes. Helen say left dragon. Yes. Okay, left dragon makes a point also, but it's more soon. That is the key thing. Remember, Qi behave like human being. Okay, Qi behave like human being. If human being don't want to cross overhead bridge, Qi also don't want to cross. If human being find A more difficult to go in, then Qi will find A also difficult to go in, right? So B door allows Qi to go in freely, easier. So Alan say, would this cause more difficulty to go out for B? Hey, good idea, right? You want Qi to come in, you don't want Qi to go out, right? Am I correct to say that? You want money to come in easily, but you don't want money to go out easily. So you see the point why B kind of door is better. So if you're running your own business, remember, just a hinge different can make a difference to the Qi. Qi will appreciate you for what you do. If you change the hinge, to flip inward. Okay, you can go out and see all the shop whether they swing outward or they swing inward. Okay. Okay, then after that you can go inner. So you see the layer of outer world, now we are shrinking in already. First of all, we walk on the outside. That means there's the outer world. Then we shrink in to the building. We shrink in to the floor plan. We shrink in now internal. Access the workspaces. So what constitutes a key workspace will depend on the point of intent. So for example, if that's an office, then the key workspaces will be the C-suites, or the CEO, CFO, or the CTO, or the C or COO. Their office matters. Their office room matters. And then, then the boardroom. Boardroom also important because this is where the major decisions are made. Now, I'm not saying that the C-suite is so important that you can ignore the rest. You can, okay, you can. But take care of the top, okay? Then you can see that whatever goodness that the top is enjoying can be cascaded down to the lower rank. So we want that effect. Okay? So that is office. Now, if let's say it's a warehouse, warehouse would be more of where is the machinery, where's the storage, where is the manager's warehouse manager office and things like that, where's the toilet. It does impact. So basically you want to know how things are being laid up and then if there's a manager office, go into the manager office, see how it's been arranged. Okay, not to worry, tomorrow we'll go deeper in, but right now we are just skimming the surface on what constitute a key workspace. So if let's say you're a business owner, this is what you should be appreciating. If it's a showroom and nothing else, then the counter, okay, the counter is important. Where you receive money one is important. And then where you serve the customer is also important. Okay. So for example, like if it's a showroom, then you say that, okay, the customer come in, select, for example, floor tiles. Okay, for example, floor tiles, come and select floor tiles. And after that, go to one corner, and that corner for discussion, and then to close the deal, and that corner is important. Okay. So for example, your customer, it is a customer service counter. Then if it's a store, normal store, how do you set up? What's important? And then all the above or any other combination. So you need to know, you need to identify not everything else, but you need to identify all the key workspaces and tackle on the key workspaces if you're doing for someone else. But if you're doing for yourself, then your own desk. Okay, if you're doing for yourself, then it's your own desk. If you are also a master practitioner, then take note of this. So don't 不要小看那个 cascading effect. It's very important. So like for example, just now I think I mentioned it, quickly run through. If it's for office, the senior management office, the C-suite, if there's an author for local company, most of the time, if there's an author, look out for the author also. Now for author, apply the same rule. Okay, for authors, apply the same rules that you have learned for the universal connection system. Now, author is important, right? Because this is a symbol of your assistant. Okay, a symbol of your assistant. So therefore, if this one is gone, this is gone. I've seen a case, a true case, a coffee shop, and the coffee shop owner actually has this author. I think it's 土地公 or what, okay? And they were placed outside. Initially, they were placed outside. Okay, placed outside and then placed at a very prime location. And because of that prime location, right, the coffee shop was doing very, very, very well. Okay, very well. Right. And then because of become very well, right? So the coffee shop want to expand. So do a bit of renovation and want to maximize all the space there is. I mean, put in more table, put in more store, whatever lah. So they renovated. So they put in more maximize the space. So therefore, no space for the author. So the owner make the decision to say that, okay, author not that important, right? Money more important. So author got to relocate. And relocate to where? Relocate to somewhere near the toilet. Okay, so you know, coffee shop, right? There'll be one corner where you go squeeze in, then that will be the toilet area. Been relocated there. Okay, been relocated there. That means coexist as the toilet manager. Now, you just tell me, you just tell me based on common sense and good judgment. What do you think will happen after that? What's the aftermath effect? What do you think is the aftermath effect of shifting, relocating to become toilet manager? Thank you, Helen. Non-existent. Yes. Yes. After renovation, after relocation, the business went from very good to very bad until all the individual store, they go and find another area to open up. Okay, Helen said, Master, my friend had author in old house. When moved to new unit facing cross junction, they decided no author. Okay, then they make their own choice lah. Okay, they make their own choice. It's fine. Author or without author is fine. You just make up their own choice. Okay, but when there's an author, you make the decision to make an author. Please give due respect to the author. The author is a representation or a symbolic representation of your assistant. If the house, then the house assistant, and the whole household assistant. If it's a business, then the business assistant. Is that okay? All right. So next, office boardroom lah, or the individual workspace lah, all these things are considered as key considerations lah. Now for warehouse, I think I mentioned the supervisor office. If there's author, look at the author, and if not, then the rest of the what do you call that? Machinery setup or storage setup lah. Recently, not recently. Was it last year? Yeah, last year during COVID time. Philip said warehouse, the dock area also important. Yes, important. Okay. Since you talk about dock area, think about warehouse. I remember I helped remember that 3 year rental lock-in and then go to Trade Hub. I say no. Okay, after that, we help him to find a very good place. That good place is where? The current place. Okay, where they were operating from. I told them, let's make use of the current place, expand. So that means rent over the left and right building, left and right unit. Okay, so expanded. So the showroom and everything else, the office all expanded until pretty big, 2 to 3 times. Okay, from the current startup. So after that, they need a lot of warehousing space. So they go and look for the warehouse. They pull me along also. So after that, they complain to me. After selecting the warehouse unit for them, they complain to me, hey, how come after shifting in, there are so many workman injury? I mean employee injury from all the machinery. So I went down to take a look. So this is the warehouse. The star here is their unit. Okay, the star here is the unit. And then the warehouse, there'll be a lot of machinery here. Okay, all those machinery for cutting a lot of things. And then the neighbor also just shift in, and they have a lot of those construction vehicles. Construction vehicles means like those excavator those extractor those whatever So end of the day, when the vehicles are not in use, they will park outside here. Okay, they will park outside here and at this angle. Okay, and at this angle, pointing towards here. Okay, And the vehicle, you know, I think there's one vehicle looks something like this. It's something like this. Okay, something like this. This extended arm is pointing here, pointing in this unit here. Wow, straight away I told the lady boss, say that this is the cost. Okay, this is the cost. If you're able to persuade your neighbor, then persuade. If you cannot cannot persuade, then you better shift unit. Okay, better shift unit. So what happened? This lady owner, okay, lady owner, I think she be gao keng one because business woman ma. There's another neighbor here. Okay, another neighbor here. Wanting to expand. Okay, wanting to expand space. So unfortunately, approach this lady owner, say that, hey, do you still need this space? If not, let me take over this space. Okay, let me take over this space. Wow, what do you think the lady boss answer will be? 求之不得 Somebody will take over because it's a bought over one. So they bought over, and then the lady boss go and rent another place upstairs, I think upstairs. Straight away, when it shifted out that this neighbor expanded the operation to become 2 units, straight away this neighbor get into those workman injury because the vehicles are still here. Okay, so all these things we need to take note. We need to take note. All right. Okay. Showroom. Now for showroom, then of course, I think I mentioned the counter, then the customer service area, you know, all these things. So you have to know your business. Now, open concept are troublesome. Okay, open concept, especially business, very, very troublesome. So you need to consider various small tightly point, and then because the open concept, remedies and solution can be very, very challenging. Okay, right. So I think with this, I will end today's lesson. We have not finished with module 5. I will carry on tomorrow. So any quick question from any one of you? Right? If no, Alan say, when we refer key consideration, how does the consideration work? It will be taught tomorrow. Example, meeting room, cashier should be at 前挂. Okay, use the same technique. That means if you're setting up the what do you call that? A counter. Make sure that counter has back support. Make sure that counter has a good dragon support. Make sure that the counter is receiving from water tiger water. It's the same. Use the universal connection system. If you can, plug in to the universe energy. And then later on, you can use the qi feng shui to fine tune all the other placement. Is that okay, Alan? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. All right. So if no further question, then I will just sum up. Today, what we learned is how to assess the external environment. That means really look at what's showing up in the outer world and what system we use. We use universal connection system and the time-space connection system to go and assess the external environment. So tomorrow, we will continue the rest of the module 5. And before we end today's lesson, can I ask you to type in one liner? What have you learned today that you can bring forward in your life? Thank you very much. Philip said, country like Singapore or Taiwan will always have water body in the south due to being an island. So could the south always be a challenging sector? Yes. Yes. But although it is a challenging sector, but if you know how to use, for example, Singapore, it's a very different thing. Okay, so for those who are typing the one-liner, continue typing. So I'm now addressing Philip's question. Look at Singapore. Okay, Singapore. Singapore, in terms of back support, very strong. Okay, very strong support. So all we want to do is to be able to pull in energy from the south, which currently is where all the containers are, container terminals are, especially Tanjong Pagar. Okay, tap in. Now this is going to be gone. Okay, this is going to be gone. So that means the mechanism to pull in the qi will be gone. You get my point? Will be gone. So I don't know what will be replaced with, but at least this one will be shifted to the other side, to the western side twice. Okay, and let's see how they set up how they set up the western arm to pull in the energy. That's how Singapore survived. Okay, that's how Singapore survived. So Phyllis says, see, so need to ju qi. Yes, it's always to slow down the qi, gather the qi, and find way to cast the net to pull in the qi. Okay, so anyone, one-liner, what have you learned today that you can bring forward in life? Philip said container will turn into entertainment leisure hub. Okay, so they pull in qi from the inland. Okay, they pull in qi from the inland. That means people in the inland will go towards the south, gather there, so they tap. I hope they make it work. All right, so if not, then Alan said everything has form feng shui, start with it. Yes, that's the easiest thing to do and to use. These tools, once you learn, nobody will know you have learned it, but it's with you all the time, unless you forget about it. Okay, so that's all for today. Thanks for your time. Philip said, Ju Qi is a simple yet difficult concept. Exactly. A lot of concepts in I Ching is actually very simple, but can be very difficult to apply. Helen said, your instinct will tell. Yes, your instinct will tell. So build up your intuition. So one of the good way to build intuition is to work with subtle energy. That means work from inside, build up your inner world, so that your energy is become more sensitive to the external senses. Then you're good with that. Fiona says surrounding environment is very important. Exactly, because surrounding environment is something that we can't change. We have no control over. One day could be this, tomorrow could be this, the next day construction can come in, something like this. But we need to know what's coming up, and we need to know what's our next best move going to be for ourselves. Okay, so thank you for your time. I'll see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. That will be the last lesson, and after that, you'll be graduating from this coaching program, and you will be good. So practice on your own, okay? And then if you can, come back for the whatever new extended program that I may be offering you tomorrow. Okay, so Philip said looking forward to a new course announcement too. All right, good. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.